And and then talk a little bit about our footprint in North Carolina and what we're doing as a company, driving innovation on behalf of the patients that we serve. So quick rundown on what the agenda is going to look like. We're going to talk about the company, our purpose and values. I mean, our dedication to excellence and what does that mean for operations. Our blueprint for expansion that started here in North Carolina, started in this room actually a few years back. The role that different strategic partnerships that we had forged here in North Carolina has played in our growth and development. And then hopefully I'm going to have time for Q&A. I mean, so I hope it's probably going to be 10 to 15 minutes of chat, and then we can go straight into a Q&A. There's a small video, it's a video that will last like a couple of minutes and shows a little bit of our facilities as well here. So diving into Eli Lilly and Company, I mean, like, you know, like we've been a company for like close to 150 years. I mean, there's not that many pharmaceutical companies that can say that. I mean, we have a strong legacy of making medicines and having a huge impact in human health through the discovery of insulins all the way to today. We have three values. I mean, I work for other pharmaceutical companies, and usually companies have 10, 15 values, and it's difficult to know. I love the simplicity of Eli Lilly and the three values. I mean, integrity, excellence, respect for people. First CEO of the company, which was the founder, established the values. I mean, I still have the original documents, and it's a beauty to watch. I mean, there's few companies that honor the legacy as much as Lilly does. So if you're ever in Indianapolis, I invite you to go see our legacy hall. I mean, you can see original documents back to the days of the founder as well. And I mean, very few companies live their values as much as we do. I mean, and I think we are like, we continuously remind this to people, and it's part of our induction process. And when we build and expand our footprint, we remind people these are the values we live for. I said, I mean, 148 years, we are gearing up to celebrate 150. It's going to be a big event coming up. I mean, headquartered in the Midwest of the US, in Indianapolis, Indiana, currently have more than 44,000 employees worldwide. And that will continue to grow as the company continues to grow. And it's a fun fact that people don't know. I mean, at the rate that we are growing manufacturing, I mean, we're probably going to be half of the enterprise. I mean, we are committed to make medicines, I mean, internally in the company. There's 10,000 employees that are engaged in research and development. We conduct clinical research in 55 countries. We have 7 research centers around the world, manufacturing sites located in 9 countries and expanding. And we market our products in 105 countries around the world. Most of the countries, I mean, we have reached as well. Our strategy, it's based on innovation, right? I mean, and many companies, I've heard multiple times, Lilly is an overnight success, and I think people couldn't be more wrong. I mean, we have been at difficult problems for many, many years, and we are committed to solve them. I mean, you look at, I mean, people look at the recent success of Mounjaro in diabetes and weight loss. I mean, we were at that problem for many, many years. Very few people know that we launched the first GLP-1 Bayera many years ago, and we work on the next generations of those by Bydureon and Trulicity until we figured out like what was the best possible medicine. And of course, we're not nearly done. I mean, we have a whole pipeline in obesity and diabetes that we are very proud of. I mean, we are committed to diabetes, and we want to solve that, and we're not going to stop until we have cured diabetes for once. I mean, so our next generation of insulins, which are like once weekly, are getting us closer. We are researching glucose sensing insulin, which will be the next thing. And then there's gene therapies and cell therapies in the pipeline to help us cure once and for all a horrible disease that has significant implications in human suffering and life. I mean, other good example that I can provide, I mean, it's like Alzheimer's disease. I mean, like we recently got approval for our first medicine, Alzheimer's disease, but we've been working at it for probably 50 years. I mean, and I can tell you, because I joined the company when we had a number of different products failing one after the other. Solenozumab, semaglutide, I mean, many molecules that I work and put a lot of emphasis on my passion on it to make it and to bring it to patients. They fail in clinical trials. I mean, Alzheimer's is a complicated disease to treat. I mean, so we have our first medicine and we are not gonna stop. I mean, we have a huge pipeline of innovation, which includes different monoclonal antibodies, I mean, as well as small molecules and cell and gene therapies that we're looking into that space. Our commitment to that field, and we want to solve that problem for humanity once and for all. So, I mean, again, I mean, we have 2 molecules in regulatory review. I mean, last week we got approval for Egbliss in the US in the immunology space, but we have 20 more molecules in phase 3, 24 in phase 2, and 22 in phase 1. We have solved the problem. I mean, I think as a company, we're very proud that we have solved the problem of the efficiency and productivity of research and development. We have created good models in the preclinical space so that help us be as productive as we are. I mean, we have good data of all these assets. I mean, we're hoping that we can bring them to patients to continue solving medical problems. And we are leading speed when it comes to developing drugs. I mean, from first human dose to first regulatory approval, we are the leading company in the world doing that today. That creates a magnificent problem for manufacturing. Because as you probably know, I mean, like we are probably the longest lead item in the enterprise, right? I mean, it takes probably good 5 years to build the facility, qualify, get it approved, and commercially available for patients, right? So we, at the beginning of this decade, faced that problem, and we have been working really hard right, on trying to solve it. So I'm gonna give you a few examples of things that we had done actually to solve that problem. But before I go there, I mean, like we have 13,500 and growing steadily at a pace of 200 employees per month. I think we're adding 21 internal sites, 67 contract manufacturing, and around 7,000 line items that we commercialize around the world. Since 2020, we have invested $20 billion. I mean, we have made public announcements on building, upgrading, and acquiring facilities in US, Europe, and soon in Asia. And we're committed to create more than 3,000 new jobs. That's, of course, is what we have announced publicly. There's more to come on that space. This is the picture and representation of where we have manufacturing sites. I mean, like a high concentration in the Midwest and Indiana, of course. I mean, our home state. I mean, but we have expanded our footprint into North Carolina significantly. And I'll be talking more about that in a minute. Multiple facilities in Europe and as well as in Asia as well. I mean, before I go any further, I mean, we are committed to excellence. And what you're seeing here, we call it the house of manufacturing. It's the framework that we use to explain people what we do. And it started by what's the Lilly purpose, but it takes about the manufacturing mission. And our mission is very simple. We make medicines with safety first and quality always. I mean, it's like simple, it's catchy, resonate with people. You can walk through any of our manufacturing facilities and ask anybody, what do we do and why we do it? And people can tell you that phrase. I mean, and we continue to remind them that. And we do that to a number of what we call results or outcomes we want to accomplish and a series of principles, right? And if you look at the results, they're all based on what I call safety. It's different aspects of safety. First, it starts with nobody get hurt. It's safety of the people that operate our facilities, visit our facilities, work as a contractor in our facilities. We make quality medicine, which is all about safety, it's patient safety, right? I mean, that's what it is. Sustainable use of environmental resources is about our communities and the communities we operate. We want them to be safe as well. I mean, so that's what we do. And reliable supply of medicine, of course, it's vital, I mean, for safety. I mean, in the world in which, as you know, many pharmaceuticals are in shortage, like having reliable supply is important. And the same way we have seamless new product commercialization, we bring new products quickly into the markets. We do all of that with people, right? I mean, so the foundation of our house is engage people who know how to make medicine. It's a very simple framework, but it describes well what we do. And it's been, I think, a measure of a good framework is how long it lasts. And it has lasted 4 presidents of manufacturing, and we haven't changed it because we like it, and it tells the story of what we do very easily. So let me talk about how we have been doing this massive expansion that we have been working since 2020. I mean, it all started, as I said, in this room back in 2020. RTP, the site that we have here in Raleigh, in the Raleigh-Durham area, I mean, it's the first new greenfield site in Lilly in 40 years. I mean, when I joined the company, I always joke, I mean, like I work for another pharmaceutical company to remain unnamed, but you can get that in my resume. And my job was like, I was the Green Reaper. I, I work in corporate headquarters, I was like consolidations. I mean, so company had a tendency to acquire other companies and consolidate to drive productivity and efficiency, right? So I spent half of my career doing that. I mean, and I kind of like decided that I wanted to do something else. And I came to Lilly. And what attracted me to Lilly was the values that I described, right? I mean, like there's respect for people, excellence, and integrity, right? I mean, I thought, I mean, consolidating, closing facilities is painful. I mean, it has a very high human toll. And I wanted to find somebody that could do that different. And I came to Lilly with the hopes that I was going to be, I actually was hired to, we were just launching Stratera, which was the first and non-habit forming medicine for ADHD and ADD. So we were like all excited about it. We thought it was going to be a bigger product. So I was hired to build a facility to do that medicine, and ended up not being as successful as we thought it was going to be. And I ended up shutting down that facility. And ever since I was like moving from facility to facility and shutting down things. I mean, so it's been crazy. I do have to say I found a company that does that well, because we did that with extreme respect for people. I mean, we tried our best to relocate people. When we couldn't relocate people, we did invested heavily in making sure they have new careers after Lilly. So yes, I did find the place that does that right. But I did that for very long in my career. I mean, like, and when I finally took this job and had the opportunity to actually work in expansion, it feels very foreign to me. It feels like a new experience in my career. So RTP was the first one of many that we have announced. I mean, I'm super proud of what we have accomplished here. I mean, Dan, Matt, and others. I mean, like, we went from like what was expected to be 5 years from groundbreaking, bless you, to startup and approval to like a record of 3 years, which is amazing. So we were making commercial medicine 3 years after we broke ground in North Carolina, which is a testament of the capabilities we have in the state. I mean, good, competent people that knows how to make medicine. And we did something very particular there. I gave Dan the homework. We want to hire people locally. We don't want to bring people from the center to start up the facility. And we did that. I mean, 99% of the people that we have currently working in North Carolina, we hired them here. And they've been amazing to work with. But we don't only wanted to build facilities, we wanted to build the future of pharmaceutical facilities. So RTP is our first dog-to-dog integrated facility, dark cold shell warehouse, I mean, that nobody works on. And it's like fully automated from raw materials coming into the facility to product leaving the facility. And I gave Dan that dream, and he ran with it, and we made it happen. Not without challenges, but it's been quite a journey that we've been replicating in all our facilities as well. So I'm going to play a video so you get to see the beauty of what we're doing, and Matt is going to help me because I'm technically challenged. In the video 20 times, it'll still give me chills. Because again, I mean, like we were committed to continue to drive improvements in manufacturing technology. I mean, and it's difficult when you're building new facilities and you are against the clock and you need the capacity, right? I mean, so, I mean, the tendency to want to compromise on what technological improvements you want to do, it's there, right? I mean, and we resisted that really well and make these facilities a complete success. So if you're ever in the area and want to stop by, we can definitely tour you there. Again, I mean, I said RTP was the first one. I mean, like we decided to stay in North Carolina and went to Concord, close to Charlotte, and continue our expansion there. I mean, like I remember going there with Dan. Remember Dan drove me there and jumping a fence. And actually, we wanted to see the land for Philip Morris that we were acquiring. I mean, so we acquired 40 acres over there or more. 400, sorry, yeah, yeah, sorry. You are 40 acres here, yeah, there you go. Yeah, there's a lot of land there, by the way. And we will make good use of that. I mean, because one of the things that we are driving in all our new facilities is sustainability as well. So we have this goal that at least 20% of the energy gets generated on site through either solar panels, windmills, or other things. I mean, like, so sometimes you need a little bit of land to display those solar panels as well. I mean, I was celebrating that we went from groundbreaking to making medicine in RTP in 3 years. We have a philosophy to make everything better and better. That's since the founder of the company. And in Concord, we were able to actually beat that record and make medicine 2.5 years from groundbreaking. It's the power of replication, right? We're replicating a lot of the technology that we have implemented in RTP. Recently announced an investment in Germany of outside $2.5 billion. And again, it's the same concepts. I mean, it's replicating the principle. This is all our aseptic processing facilities. We have invested also in API facilities. I mean, like I was in Ireland last week and we announced an expansion of our Limerick facility. We initially announced a $1 billion investment and duplicated the size of the site. It's a monoclonal facility. We use a disposable technology, highly automated, state of the art as well. Our largest investment announced ever since, I mean, the Lebanon API facility. This is in Indiana, a little northern of Indianapolis, and it's a $9 billion facility dedicated to manufacturing peptides and small molecules API. And our first foray into cell and gene therapy or Lebanon Advanced Therapeutic Facilities, which is like neighbor to the API site, I mean, as well. But how did we do how we accomplished all of that was through a number of strategic partnerships. I mean, like that we had here, including NC Bio, NC Life Sciences, and many others. I mean, like this is a picture of our investment in Waytech, which we inaugurated the Lilly Science and Technology Center. I mean, back in 2022. I'm getting my dates right. Okay, good. Basically, it's a great partnership we had there. I mean, to develop facilities to train operators on how to make medicine, and they get trained in everything from aspects of gowning to like the science and technology of the things we do, and which accelerated the way we onboard operators into our facility as well. But they have not been the only one. I mean, like we have partnerships with Durham Tech, I mean, BioWork. I mean, we have hired a number of people from the BioWork program. I mean, I think people always ask me as I go, we have been doing so many investments and expansions. And the question that I get the most is like, what will distinguish a location? I mean, like, it's access to talent. That's what we care the most about. I mean, and how do you get access to talent? It's investing in education, right? I mean, community colleges, universities, creating that ecosystem, that is the winning formula for any geography who wants to get access to pharmaceutical investment. I mean, and clearly we had done this in North Carolina really well. I mean, and again, strong partnership with the life sciences organizations. I mean, it's been like fantastic since day zero. I remember coming and we came to RTP because we wanted to see a facility that Glaxo had in RTP. It was a pilot plant, and spent hours in that pilot plant touring around trying to see, kind of make something out of this facility. I mean, and since we landed here that first time, I mean, I remember vividly, I mean, like the role of NC Bio, NC Life Sciences, guiding the process of how you make these decisions. I mean, we look at the Glaxo facility, to be honest, it didn't work. I mean, it wasn't what we needed. And it was too difficult to retrofit to what we wanted. I mean, and we could have walk away, but the experience was so positive that we decided to double down, stay in the state, and go and buy land that we acquired, and then build the first facility here in North Carolina. So again, I think it's been one of the most positive experiences that we had. I mean, as we were just getting ready to expand our network. I mean, why North Carolina? I mean, great partnership with the government. I mean, I think from Governor Cooper to everybody in the state, I mean, like all state delegations, I mean, local and state delegations were very helpful in supporting our investment programs. I mean, there's strong support for intellectual property, which is super critical. The speed of permitting was like amazing. I mean, easy to work with, clear rules. It's we don't want to avoid the permits. We want to understand the rules so that we can apply them in a fast fashion, right? I mean, that North Carolina really shine on that. Forums like this in which we can share and learn. I mean, of course, access to logistics. I mean, RTP is very close to the Raleigh-Durham Airport, and Concord is very close to the Charlotte Airport, right? That's intentional, right? I mean, we want to stay close to logistic hubs. We make refrigerated medicines. I mean, so access to logistic hubs, it's like super critical in our investments strategy. Great educational partnerships, and above everything, strong talent base. I mean, like super proud of the thousands of employees that we have hired here in the state. I mean, it's really a true honor to be able to get access to such a wonderful workforce. And I think, I mean, that's my remarks. I mean, I wanted to open it up for questions and answers. And how am I doing time-wise? I'm okay. I tend to talk more than what I should, so I don't know. Any questions, comments? Sure.
Hello. Okay.
No.
Hi, thank you so much for your notes and your speech. This is Grace Ingles from Safety Partners. You mentioned that Eli Lilly has sustainability initiatives where you're looking to have 20% of your energy created on site. I'm curious, what other sustainability initiatives do you have, including potentially recycling of lab plastics or reduction of air emissions?
Sure. Yeah. We have what we publicly call our 2030 goals. I mean, I think everybody has 2030 or 2035, right? I mean, and we have committed to carbon neutral in our scope 1 and scope 2 emissions. We're well on the way to get there. I mean, so like I'm super happy with the progress we made so far. I mean, including a recent partnership we announced, a BPPA kind of agreement. That's one element, right? I mean, we're also looking at places in which we have water it's a concern, which is a restricted resource, how we recover, recycle, reuse water to avoid the impact in the communities we serve, right? And we have goals around plastics and plastic minimization as well. I mean, as you know, many of our medicines comes into devices are plastic. I mean, so super happy with the progress we made. I mean, it's a complex problem, as you can imagine. You probably know what I'm talking about. Like an auto-injector will have a needle, which is a biosafety. It will have glass. It will have a spring. It will have multiple part plus plastic component, 14 to be honest. And how do you reuse and recycle those devices? It's a challenge. So we have a partnership we had done in Denmark with Novo, Merck, and Sanofi, and that's going super well. I mean, like there, we're doing the same in Germany, UK, and we're just trying to learn how we can solve the problem. Interesting, the most difficult part of the problem is getting people to return the devices, which is fascinating to me. I mean, because in Europe, sustainability it's a key social concern, and so we started there. We thought it was going to be easier to get access to our devices, and it's proven to be very challenging. So now, as an industry and as a consortium, we're thinking like, how do you incentivize people to return the units so that we can recycle them? But the chemical process to return plastics back to monomer, it's there. I mean, like it took a a lot of effort and energy to develop processes like that. But yeah, we're making good progress in that space.
Wonderful, thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Oh, there you go.
Hey, Edgardo.
Hey.
Dante Matangelo with PQE. I actually have some engineer resources in the validation department at the Concord site, so I had the chance to visit the facility. But in terms of,
It's impressive, by the way.
what's that?
Everything is very impressive. Concord.
Yeah, it is very impressive.
Thank you. Because I think, I mean, these are my toys, right? I mean, so like,
Yeah,
of
so-
course, I find them impressive.
When it comes to the talent acquisition and sort of why you guys chose North Carolina, can you go into a little bit of like details as far as how you're able to find local talent, relocation, and maybe some people that you partnered with in order to sort of staff such a facility in such a short period of time?
Yeah, I mean, like the partnerships with the community college, it's probably the most, I mean, because the most, ironically, I mean, the most difficult resources to actually get qualify and prepare quickly, I mean, are the people that are operating the lines. So operators, lab techs, material handlers, mechanics, those are the resources that are more constrained in the US market right now. I mean, like I'm a member of the National Association of Manufacturing Board of Directors, and I was surprised. I mean, like there's 650,000 manufacturing jobs open in the US. That's an stunning number. I mean, like, and we used to compete with each other, right? I mean, in reality now we are competing with like Amazon, with Google, with Crew Car Watch. We're like, we're competing with everybody now for those kind of resources. So those partnerships with community college have been instrumental in getting access to that talent base. Of course, we have a number of partnerships with universities. I mean, NC State, University of North Carolina, and others, and Duke, I mean, others as well. Getting access to like engineers, scientists, and whatnot. I mean, Concord was a sort of like a special thing. I mean, we were like, we could have stayed closer to the industrial basin here in RTP, right? I mean, but we wanted to go expand our reach. I mean, and we thought it was going to be challenging. I mean, what proven ended up being not that difficult to get access to get a different talent pool in a different location. So it's been good and positive. You're very quiet. Thank you.
I was going to add a little bit to that. I think that there were some things that you worked on, like you said, with the Biotechnology Center, around making sure that you were connected to all of the right. I remember sitting in a room actually with a group and bringing in all of the different partners from the educational facilities to some of the economic developers. And I think, as I was saying before, that's kind of the secret sauce sometimes of North Carolina is being able to we all know each other and we work together well, and we're all willing to come to the table and kind of throw in what, we each bring. And it seems like you all have found that and have kind of fit seamlessly in with the community. And we're really excited that you're here. Do you kind of agree with that general? I know you brought your folks down from Eli Lilly to kind of come and take a look at some of those, some of the pieces that we have here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, the ecosystem has been like amazing to work with. I mean, and that includes government, other industry partners, industry associations, I mean, community colleges, universities. But also there's a strong base of suppliers as well that made our life significantly easier. I mean, like, when we made our decision, we were worried about like, we manufacture plastic parts in locations that are remote, like how we're gonna get them here. That's a lot of trucks coming back and forth. I mean, like, we talked to our partners, I mean, about that. I mean, like, and they say, oh yeah, I can build in North Carolina too. So like, we ended up like attracting the ecosystem into the state as well. I mean, again, and we are like we are better integrated here now than in any other location around the world. That's the magic of working in North Carolina, I think. I mean, because like partners were like super willing to invest, co-invest with us. I mean, we have invested with a number of partners, Jayville. I mean, like DHL created logistics centers for us. I mean, like it's like very easy to work with and partner with others to integrate the supply chain, which is the dream that I have for any other location in which we operate. No, it hasn't been as easy. Well, if there's no other questions, I appreciate the time and the opportunity to address this audience. I mean, it's been a real pleasure. Have a wonderful day.